From the Zane Scholars Arena, it's time for the Inter-University Battle of Brains. This is the 2010 Zane Africa Challenge. And now, here's the man with the questions, Walimu John Sibio Kumu.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of the Zane Africa Challenge. You've met the teams and seen this year's International Championship play itself out to its conclusion. So tonight we're going to look back over Season 4, some of the best moments from the competition as well as some of the action behind the scenes. The road to the International Championship is a year-long process and a lot of hard work goes into the team's preparations. All I can say is that our players are well and truly brilliant. Over 10,000 students tried out for their Zane Scholars teams this year. They took part in student tryout testing at each participating university. The top scorers then mastered the rules and strategies of the game. During this training, the coaches observed their skills, carefully evaluating each candidate's knowledge base, team spirit and reflexes on the buzzer. After rigorous practice sessions, a 4-player team was selected to represent each university. This year, the finals were held in Kampala, Uganda. The students had a chance to interact, to compete and to have fun together. While the games were the centerpiece of the week-long festival, the teams enjoyed a variety of activities as well as gala opening and closing banquets. Loyal viewers know that there were only 16 teams in the televised competition this year. Why? Let me explain. After they had settled down in Kampala, the 32 teams competed in preliminary league playoffs, which reduced the field to the final 16 teams. Television is a magical medium. Many of you have no idea what goes on before the cameras roll. A few statistics are in order. The TV crew numbers 150 people and they come from 10 countries in Africa, Europe and the United States. A truly global exercise. Building the set on location takes 10 days and 10 nights. There are 30,000 kilos of production and lighting equipment involved, and we install 20 kilometers of cable. That's enough to fill over 30 shipping containers. It's an extraordinary process to watch. Before each game, the crew helps the contestants to get ready, to get dressed, powdering them down so they look their very best for the cameras. They help the students to relax so that they can focus on the task at hand. That is, answering the questions. Are the players given the questions to study in advance? Well, the answer is absolutely not. The actual questions to be used are known to only very few question setters, so as to ensure complete integrity in the competition. Just before each game, the coaches are given a list of categories in the game so that they may decide which player should lead their team in each round. In the studio, the teams pre-record their entrances and then the game begins for real. The players themselves are as diverse as our continent. They are unique individuals, but all of them are filled with great expectations. It is my role to make sure that they are cool, calm and collected, and to do this, I get to know them so that you get to know what makes them tick.
Well, the competition has really boosted my confidence. Being in front of the cameras is not as easy as it looks.
When I first came here, it was like a scene from Alice in Wonderland. Big stage, big lights, very fancy. I love the competition, very nice. Kudos to Zane.
It's been a lovely and great experience. I've learned so much. It's also been exciting and humbling, especially after seeing other teams play. I've realized how much huge knowledge base we have in Africa.
I've met more people from around Africa during this tournament than I have in my entire life.
Somebody who has inspired you in your life?
Yes, John, my mom. You know, even though she's not here today, but she left a lasting impression on me. When I was growing up in a household, she made me do some of the difficult tasks you think of. But today, I've benefited a lot from those tasks, and I'm grateful.
Sweet mother, I no go forget you for the suffer way you suffer for me.
Definitely.
That's my grandfather. I salute him. He died at the age of 92, but he said his philosophy was keep on searching for knowledge, use it wisely, never disappoint others or yourself, because that's the core of life.
Words of wisdom?
Well, I do have some words of wisdom, John. And those words are expressed in Aristotle's quotation, which goes like this. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit.
Favorite pastime?
Well, my favorite pastime is playing volleyball. I love it so much because it's a game of common sense. And happily for us in our country, the government has helped us to at least institute what we call an inter-varsity competition, of which volleyball is one of the sports, and I do partake in it.
You come from a largish family of 7. A good or a bad thing?
It's actually a good thing, John. Yes. Because when you grow up in a large family, for example, I grew up in a family of 7, as I've said, with 2 brothers and 2 sisters, there's a lot of competition in the family, since there's need of recognition to be recognized in the family. And then it is the competition at the family level that has helped me to reach this far, I believe.
A passion in your life?
Yes, I have a passion for watches, which I picked up from my grandfather. He would always tell me that you could learn so much about a person by just looking at the watch that they're wearing.
And if I told you that I don't wear a watch, what would you say now?
By the looks of things, I'd say nothing.
Oh, gosh, right answer. What are your expectations of the World Cup?
Well, John, my expectations for the World Cup was, like we started with under-17 that was hosted in Africa and remained in Africa. I also expect the same with the main World Cup, which will be held in June. I'm sure that it will remain in Africa, and probably the hosts are my favorites to win.
I have a message for the Black Stars, our national pride. They did very well in the African Cup of Nations, and I wish them all the best in the World Cup. And I hope that between now and then, I can get a ticket for the World Cup.
Toluwale, you're first up for the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. And I'm going to ask you whether I've pronounced your name correctly.
No, actually, it's Toluwale. Toluwale Babalobi.
And tell us a bit more about that accent, if it's not impolite.
Okay, there are 3 major ethnic groups in Nigeria: the Yorubas, the Igbos, and the Hausas. The Hausas live up north. My dad is Yoruba, my mom is Igbo, and I spent my childhood in the north, so I have a bit of everybody. That's where the accent comes from.
Osama comes from the Arabic word for lion, and that's where I derive my personality from. I go into everything with no fear. I demand respect everywhere I go, and when I roar, it's going to be loud as hell.
Now, I believe that you are traveling rhymesmith, so to speak. So I'm going to challenge you to make an instant rhyme using my initials, which are J-S-O.
I'll give it a shot, actually. J-S-O. He asks you a question that whips you like a lasso. Sometimes he asks questions on Burkina Faso. And I didn't even know he knows the rock called Aso. It's okay.
I have to take you everywhere with me. We'll be back right after this.